Hello guys, welcome to the fifth part of our authentication process. So in this, to give a recap, we changed our how we do our routes in the previous tutorial. So kindly watch it in case you haven't. So in this one, we're going to now learn how to create our DB. So now let's just create a folder called DB. Then in this, we can have our init. So let's, but first let's create our password hash. So let's be hash password. So I'm going to import our hash lib. Okay, so what we are doing here is we are storing the hash version of our password. We are not going to store it raw. So in case someone have access to the database, you'll not be able to see the credentials. Okay, so our next function is to create the database path. So I'm just going to use the init. So we are going to name our database DB name as DB. Can name it any name you would want. Then our DB path. Okay, so we are done with this. Now let's create our database. So functions for basic stuff. So let's name this our code. And before that, let's on run. Let's check if the database is created. If not, then we create it. So well, in this one, we are not going to use any package for our database like SQL Alchemy and stuff, but then we'll just create our own thing. So let's import SQL query and import OS. Then our database path and stuff. So, well, I think that's it. So let's go on. So first of all, we are going to write a function to check if table exists. Okay, so in this function, what we are doing is that we are checking if this table exists. So a table which will be creating data on. So then now let's create our database. Now when the project starts up, it will check if the database exists. If not, it also creates it. Then we are going to have our table inside. So we're going to have dev. Okay, so in our code, what we are doing is that we are checking if the database file has been created. If it has been created, then we can when it hasn't been created, then we check all these things. We also check if in case though the data part has been created, the database has been created, uh is this table in the database? If not, then we create it. So we are done with this. So now let's move to our database functions, the ones we'll be using. So we'll be creating our functions here, so we don't need to write it over and over again. Okay, so in our code, what we are doing is that this one we are connecting to the database, and this we are using it to check maybe if in case we have other tables available. We're going to use call this function so it fetches our data. So if in case it's the user table, passing the user here and the conditions which we want to fulfill here. And also what we are doing here is that we are converting it into a dictionary. Mostly if it comes it's not in dictionaries. I want it to be in a dictionary so it'd be easy to fetch. Okay, so this is to check if maybe the value I pass here, if is that email exists in the database or a username or any other thing you want to check if it exists in that table. Okay, so now we are done with the creating of our styles, as you can see here. So now we would now start by connecting it to our page. So now in our next tutorial, we are going to connect it here. We are going to have our sign up and also our login. So we are going to create everything we need here. Okay, thank you for watching. See you next time.